Hello, Aries. Welcome to your weekly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a Two of Wands. You're somebody who is very serious right now. I think you are. You're not in the mood to play around. I think you're very serious. You're very in control. I think that there's this fight in you right now, and I think that you're trying to either maintain control or to kind of get control back from something. Right. This is a card about really being in control of your environment, okay? Understanding the things that we can change and the things that we cannot change. So you're somebody who is very confident right now, okay? It's a Mars in Aries kind of energy for all you astrology fans out there. So this is really a take charge and a very assertive kind of Aries energy that is, I think, trying to really take over something, trying to seize power and hang on to it, okay? And I think right now you're someone who very much, you're in your strength, you're in your power. I feel like you are someone who, you're a great leader. And I think people come to you when they sort of need leadership. If they don't know what to do or they feel they can't overcome a challenge, they come and ask you because they know that you will figure out a way to get through that obstacle or through that roadblock, right? So I think right now, especially, you're the strong one. You're the leader here. And I don't know that you always want to be. That's the thing. I think with Aries, everybody assumes that you're ready at any moment to jump in and take over, right? I don't feel like you really want to do that. I feel like you'd rather just kind of do your own thing in your own way. But I feel like you step up to the challenge when you need to. Okay, let's put this card into a little bit of context. All right, let's use our Dove and Serpent spread. And we've got a Six of Cups. We've got the Hermit. We've got a Six of Swords now. A Seven of Pentacles, and a Two of Swords. Right away with that Six of Cups, it feels like this is really about you restoring some sort of order or harmony to something. That you're kind of being asked to step in, maybe to intervene into something and restore a harmony that I think may have been a fact previously, but something had happened. Perhaps there's been some kind of an obstacle, some kind of a roadblock or an impediment to this harmony. The Six of Cups is also talking about a family situation. Okay, so it could be that there's a need for leadership in some close group of people. Might not be family necessarily, might be chosen family, might be friends, might be a workplace family, right? But I feel like there's some leadership that really needs to take place right now. And I feel like it is through your efforts, controlling what you are capable of controlling. By stepping up, I think you're going to achieve this success. It's going to be a very pleasurable thing for you. That's the key word for the Six of Cups is pleasure, right? In the true sense of the word, I feel like you are most happy. You are in your joy when you are doing this, when you are up against a challenge, you are looking at something like a Seven of Pentacles, And you're thinking, okay, how can I overcome this? How can I make it great? Okay. I think that it really gives you a very important challenge for yourself, right? Keeps you interested because it's not easy. It's difficult. It requires your attention. I think it also gives you immediate feedback. In real time, you're getting feedback from the situation that says, okay, it's working. I'm doing a good job. Things are getting better. You know, people seem like they're thankful to you. There's gratitude, or you're seeing something that's, it's starting to grow. It's starting to work. It's functioning. You fixed it, right? It's kind of like when you're working on a car. And, we like the challenge. We like the puzzle of it. There's something that needs to be fixed, So, okay, I've got some use for myself now. And as we're fixing the car, and then we start the engine up and it starts to run, we think, all right, there's immediate feedback. It's working. What I've done has actually had an effect, And so I feel there's going to be a real joy for you in whatever this work is. But if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Okay. We're going to do the path of the serpent. We've got the world. We've got a 9 of wands. We've got the fool. And we've got the 2 of cups. Interesting with the 2 of cups. Let's select our mystery card. Where am I putting my stuff here? Mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. And it's going to go down right here with, no, not Kelly Kapoor. This cycle is our tiny horse, Mr. Ed, right on top. And now we'll scooch everybody over and put Kelly at the back of the line. And we're not going to look at that card till the very end, all right? But it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. Let's take a look around the room. Interesting, the major arcana. We've got the Fool and the Hermit and the World. The Hermit sort of wants to walk away from the world. The Hermit wants to be alone. The Hermit wants to spend time alone to figure out what we really care about, what we really want, to do the introspection, to just sort of stick to the plan, okay? To go back here and to reassess the plan is kind of what, and this is down beneath the surface in you. This is kind of at the threshold of consciousness for you, is this idea, well, I'd rather just kind of go and get away from everything and enjoy being by myself and figuring out what I believe, figuring out what my plan is. Now, because we have that 2 of wands with our Hermit, with our 6, both of these 6s really, I wonder if this isn't so much a group thing, but I wonder if what we're seeking is the joy and the pleasure in what we're doing. So looking at the rest of the cards, the effort that you've been putting into while we've been trying to experience the joy of it, and I think we have been enjoying the path, I feel like something's not working quite right. And this is, of course, where this energy that you need to step up, you need to take control, you need to make the changes. With the 2 of wands, it's saying that there's nobody else that can do this but you. Now, the fact that we don't have any other court cards tells me maybe it's not a group thing. Maybe this is about you, okay? And maybe your efforts right now you've been coming up to an obstacle, okay? There's something that, there's a bit of an impasse here for you. And we know we're going to overcome it. That's not the issue, because I think you still are, you're still in this flow, in this resonance kind of state as you're approaching this obstacle. But the Hermit might be the key to everything, okay? Because we certainly don't want the Fool. This is the position of what we do not want, right? I feel like what you do want is the Hermit. And in other words, I feel like the Hermit is saying that you've got to spend time alone. Enjoy the time you spend alone. That's part of the pleasure here of the 6 of Cups. Enjoy the time that you're spending alone. And use it to figure out what you're doing, what you want, and what changes need to be made. Okay, in other words, the Hermit is withdrawing from everything that it can to really truly, and this is kind of saying, you're turning off the TV, you're turning off the phone, you're turning off the ringer on your phone. I mean, you still watch the YouTube readings, but otherwise you kind of just, you go silent for a moment in order for you to take a look at the plan that you had. What are you trying to do, and why are you trying to do it? How have you been trying to do it? This is a plan that may need a little bit of alteration, and I think that's where our Two of Swords comes in the future position. I think you're somebody that really does enjoy spending time alone. You enjoy being useful, and you enjoy this. You enjoy stepping up and saying, all right, a challenge, right? What can I get into here? But you also like spending time alone, truly alone, where basically you just turn the power off in your house for a couple minutes, an hour or whatever. Or you go into a meditative state, or a room, a kind of a quiet room, and you just sit with yourself. And you enjoy spending that time by yourself. And that allows you to really get a good, honest assessment about who you are, where you are, and what you're doing. Okay? Because there's a decision that needs to be made in the future. Soon. Immediate future. Okay? And I think that you're good at this. Okay? I wonder if there is a group of people around you still that are trying to kind of get you to engage and need you to come and do something or fix something or help or just to be part of it all. And you're just kind of feeling, oh, I need to go kind of dark for a minute. You want me to fix everything? I need a day or two alone. It's like we'll go up into like a solo camping trip. And we'll just go off grid for a day or two, camping out by ourselves or something, and just to sit with nature. And I think it's through that kind of a process for you that you get that aha moment. And you think, I know the answer. And then you come back down and you're booting up your laptop and turning your phone on and you're saying, I got the solution. I know what to do. And maybe that's a little cliche, but I feel that it's very important. Maybe you're not doing the solo camping trip, but I feel like you need that kind of solo energy where it's just, you turn everything off for a day or two to figure out. And it's almost like we're letting the answer come to us. We're not trying to force it. We're just kind of, I don't know, we're just breathing. We're just being. And I think that the answer is going to come. The solution to whatever the problem is going to come. See, we've got the 6 to the 2, and it's up here with this 7 is hanging over the head. Something needs to be fixed. Something isn't growing the way it should. Something isn't functioning the way it was really meant to. There's no loss of heart here for you, though. Okay? This is, you're taking control of your own happiness here with this 6 of Cups. Yeah. In the past position with the 6 of Swords, I feel like in the very recent past, you had everything together. You had everything kind of harmonized. You had the plan. It's like a business plan. It was all written out. You had the map. You printed out the MapQuest directions, and everything was good. Everything seemed fine. And I think that this isn't so much an interruption to the plan. It's not this big disaster. There's no tower moment here. Really, the only challenging card we have is that 7 of Pentacles. And the 7 is failure, but it's kind of the failure that is a natural part of your success, right? Especially with the 6 of Swords, 6 of Cups, the 2 of Cups. Your success is happening, And I feel like the 7 of Pentacles is a natural part of succeeding. It's like you're failing, but you're failing forward, You're falling, but you're falling forward. And it's a natural part of the process. And so I don't think I'm giving you any kind of a breaking news or anything, but I feel like the way that you operate, when you're staying true to yourself and you're staying authentic, I think that you know how to do what you do. You know how to solve the problem. You know how to solve the current impasse, or the so-called roadblock or obstacle that's in front of you right now. Well, that's kind of above you. It's shadowing the whole reading. This kind of represents the reading in a nutshell. And that is to say that there's a problem that needs your solution. Okay? Whether this is a business thing, creative thing, a relationship, family, friends, whatever it is, there's an issue. Something isn't functioning in an optimal way. All the joy and happiness and all the success and abundance that should be there, it's not growing up all the way yet. Does the plant need more water? Am I watering it too much? Does it need more sunlight? Is it getting too much sunlight? That sort of thing. Okay? Because we want something to grow as big and beautiful and abundant as it possibly can. Okay? So it bears the most fruit. So, the Seven of Pentacles at the top here, you're someone that knows how to solve problems, right? And you know, just with these cards here, this is very good problem-solving energy, right? You're willing to put in the work. You're willing to try. You're willing to do what nobody else is willing to do. You're willing to get up early and stay up late to get it done, right? That's not an issue. You got plenty of power in you, plenty of gas in the tank, see? And, you know, you also are not afraid of challenges. You're not afraid of failing or of trying something and having it come up not quite in the optimal way. If you never fail, that means you never really tried, right? And I think you find great joy and pleasure in trying and, yeah, in failing. Because in failing, we see where our limits are. So now we know that I got to push just a little bit further, a little bit past that limit, and that's growth, right? So, in other words, the Seven of Pentacles really is a card of growth. It's telling us how we are to grow. Find out what our limits are. You push yourself to failure, and then you say, okay, that's the benchmark for me. That's something I want to try to get a little bit further beyond, you know. And I think it gives you great pleasure to be living your life in this way. You're somebody that knows the value of challenges, of problems, of, yes, failure, right? The bad, the big, the F word, right? The Two of Swords in the future position, there's an adjustment that needs to be made, okay? This card, I like it very much. It's the moon in Libra. And it is the Libra energy, which is the Justice card, which is the card of kind of micro adjustments, little minor course corrections, little tweaks and alterations, right? In relationships, in our behaviors, in how we're doing something, or which road we're taking. But it's also the moon, right? So it's not saying that there is a logical, intellectual math problem that you have to figure out. I hate math. Let's not do math, right? This is something that's intuitive. This is something that as you're in your hermit mode, we're just breathing, we're just being, we're out, maybe we're in nature, maybe you're camping by a little stream, maybe you do extreme wilderness winter camping, I don't know what you do. That would be pretty cool though. I like watching those videos on YouTube with those people that do like the winter camping and stuff. It's so awesome. But the Two of Swords is saying that we are intuitively receiving this answer and we're going to know what this minor adjustment is going to be. Okay? And it's not really big adjustments. It's not like you're not doing 90-degree turns here. Because with the Seven of Pentacles, you don't know if maybe it just needs a little drop more water every day. You don't have to go from, well, I give it a gallon of water or a liter of water every day or whatever, to now I'm going to give it 10 liters of water every day. That should do it. No, you're giving it a liter. Maybe you give it, 1,500 mils or something, right? Or like a gallon and a half, rather than going so extreme, going overboard now with these changes, just little changes at a time, little micro adjustments, you see. And that, I think, is our Two of Swords, and this is what the future holds for you. This is the way that you are creating your reality, and you're creating the absolute success that you are destined to have, right? This is going to be great, especially as we get to the path of the serpent. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. And it supports the channel. Well, I appreciate that. General energy is the world or the universe. You're somebody that knows their potential. You know that your potential is infinite. Right? You know that your potential really is unknown, right? The universe card is a card of expansion. It's a card of sort of growing in possibilities. The world is opening up to you. It doesn't mean anything's guaranteed. It doesn't mean anything's coming your way. It means the field of possibilities is so huge. It's like someone who just, they learn to swim in a lake, or they drive their boat and it's just in a little lake. And it's nice, but there's edges to it, right? It's like going from that and then realizing that there's a whole ocean out there. Wow. It doesn't mean I'm going to have a good time sailing around this entire ocean, but wow, there's a lot more places I can go now. It's like somebody who grew up in a small town. I grew up in a small town, right? Milpitas, California. And that was a small town. There wasn't a lot to do. But then we'd go up to the city. Yeah, the big city, San Francisco. And there it just seemed like, and the ocean there too. And it just seemed like, wow, like the world, like there's so many possibilities in the world now. Like the first time you're on an airplane or something, and you see that there's a lot of stuff here. That's kind of what the world card is like. It's almost as if now suddenly we realize that our potential, the possibilities for us are not just here, this little bit. The possibilities for us are infinite. There is no limit to what you can achieve. The only limit is, well, I guess our mortality, right? But we're not worried about that today. Our only limit really is what we are willing to keep pushing toward. It's about fire to earth, right? The process of creation. You are a creator right now, Aries. You are in your, I don't want no BS. I don't have time for games. I'm in this creator mode. And then that creator mode, I think, is where you're finding your most joy right now. So you want the challenges. Because every time you see a challenge, you're like, all right, I guess I'm growing today, right? I guess I'm expanding my life today, my skills, talents, your virtues, whatever. And that is our world card. Okay. Now, this doesn't mean that we are guaranteed to receive any results. Okay. But this is the idea that our world is getting unbelievably large. Yeah. And I think you're someone that realizes how much potential you have, that it really truly is infinite. There is no limit to what you can do, to what you are capable of doing. If you're running marathons, you're breaking your own records. If you're painting, every painting is just, it seems so much better than the last because you're growing and evolving, you're changing. You're realizing that your inner world, your inner reality is infinite as well. There's no limit to how much you can grow in your soul. There's no limit to how much then you can accomplish or achieve or create, right? To create in the external world. It's infinite within, infinite without. And that's just the stage. The actions are up to you, but that's the stage, right? Painting that picture. I think this is going to be an unbelievable new reality for you. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it, right? Spirit is saying keep going. Spirit is saying that there's going to be a challenge to your purpose soon. And there may already be one. It feels as if there are forces out there that are trying to get you to break your promise, to break your commitment to yourself, or to this work, or to this challenge, right? And it's not related to our hermit mode. The hermit mode, I think, is you keeping your promise because you're saying, look, I'm committed to this 1,000%. I need to take a day or two to figure things out, get my head on right, and come back with a solution. Yeah. But I think there are forces out there that are trying to get you to lie down, to take a bit of a nap, right? To break your promise, break your commitment to yourself. And these aren't specific people. This is just, it's kind of the world itself, but it's almost your reaction to the world. It's those things in the world that make us think, maybe I should quit. Maybe I should lie down. Maybe I should take a nap. Maybe I should call in sick today, right? And it's going to be a real test of your resilience, a real test of your resolve, of your backbone. Today, I'm not feeling good. I woke up this morning, I told my wife, I don't even want to work today, you know? And she said, well, just go and do your best. And I said, yeah, you're right. I should get up and go do it, you know. There are always things that are going to challenge our commitment and our resolve in trying to get us to break our promise, okay? And these things, it may be specific people. It may be triggered by specific people. I don't think someone has this evil plot that I'm going to get Aries to break their promise to themselves. No, I feel like it's just through other people's behaviors sort of, you know, lead us to thinking, well, maybe I should just hang out. Maybe I should just not do it. Maybe I should quit. Maybe this problem's too big for me to face, you know. You're strong enough to overcome those kinds of tests, okay? But this is a definite test. It's in the position of your environment and your relationship with the environment. You've got to be very, very strong and confident that you are the right one for the job here, okay? The Fool is what we don't want today. Usually the Fool is a very good card of transcendence. It's a card of you know, new opportunities, new ideas. It's a card of talent and just kind of, you know, being free. And in this case, though, I think the Fool is maybe just being a fool, right? The Fool is maybe just giving in to whatever energies are around them and just saying, yeah, okay, sure, you know. And what we don't want now is to have this expansion. The Fool is pure air. The Fool is like a hot air balloon that just keeps growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, but it's kind of empty. And so it's always looking to fill itself with something, but the more you put in there, the emptier it gets, right? The Fool is very closely related to Taoism. The Fool and the Sage are like, it's the Fool and the Madman, and then the Genius, right, and the Sage. It's a very fine line. But the more you put into the Fool, the emptier it gets, yeah. And there's some mystical secrets there, I'm sure, but right now it feels like what we don't want is to be completely influenced and basically controlled by the environment around us. The Fool has no sense of self. The Fool has no inner strength. You got no resolve in there, which means whatever comes along, the Fool's going to be sucked right into it. The Fool can be that gullible and naive energy that just willy-nilly just stumbles into one thing after the other. No sense of direction, no sense of control, no sense of power, no sense of backbone, right? And I think there are some mystical and magical secrets here with the Fool, but today, the Fool is the energy that we don't want. Because I think you're staying in control, and that's what we need right now. We don't need to be influenced by everything around us, because then you're sort of pulled in different directions, and you're like a cork on the ocean. You're like a balloon up in the air, and wherever the wind blows, that's where the Fool's going to go. And that's what we do not want right now. Okay. The Two of Cups at the end here. A more long-term future, okay? I feel that this is going to be a harmonious union, okay? And, you know, this is a card called Love, and it is our long-term outcome. Short-term future, immediate future, there's going to be these decisions that you have to make. I like that we have 2, 2, and 2. It may indicate that you are doing this with a partner, okay? But I think what it is also meaning, especially with that Fool card, is that a chance, an opportunity for a partnership, an opportunity for a union is coming your way in the more long-term future. Immediate future, we've got to focus on what we're doing and make these little course corrections. But in the course of that work, I think you're going to fall in love with something or someone. And the Fool then becomes a little more interesting there, because it's kind of like we're resisting this partnership. It could be a romantic partnership, a creative collaboration, right? It could be a student-teacher type of relationship, right? It could be a friendship. But the Fool, because we don't want the Fool, we're kind of rejecting that Two of Cups. We're saying, nope, I'm not falling into any of those kinds of energies. I'm not being torn away from my work for any of that stuff. But I do feel that in your future, you're going to fall in love with something, and you have to make sure that you remember this Fool card being in this position. The Fool is what you don't want, because the Fool will fall in love with something and will forget all about this. Then the entire world just becomes that, the Fool and the love, right? That there's no commitment. We forget what we were even doing, you know? And so we must accept that Two of Cups. We accept the love, but we don't let it take us away from this focused work that you're doing. This should add to your joy, add to your enjoyment and your flow and your resonance with life. And should not take you away from that life. Okay. So I do think in the long term, let's say if this is something happening in the next couple of days, this is something that we're going to need to deal with in the next couple of weeks. And this is that kind of that it could be a partnership, or it could be a love interest. It could be that you're falling in love with a different idea, another path, or just something that really speaks to you. And yes, you should engage with that and unite with that, because this has the potential to add to your enjoyment of this life that you're living here and this work that you're doing, the course of things for you. But do not let this completely pull that Fool away and diminish everything that you're accomplishing here. Okay. Because, this is the Fool in love, right? And forgets all about everything. Forgets about work. The Fool falls in love and forgets it has a job. Forget that it has other things that it wants to do in life. And is just following this love around, and it has forgotten everything about who they were. Okay? So we have to be careful with that. This is the Fool in love. Okay? Whatever that love happens to be, you'll find out in a week or two. Well, let's look at our mystery card. Okay, maybe this will give us a clue as to that. Well, you know what I want to do first? Let's do a hexagram from the I Ching. Anytime we get the Fool and, well, the Hermit too, I kind of want to feel like who's the Fool and who's the Sage here? Okay, where's the wisdom really at in this situation? Because the Fool is saying, I'm just going to dive right into this new thing that I love, and this feels good, and this is all I care about now. The Hermit is saying, no, I'm staying away from love. I'm staying away from those temptations because I'm focused on how good this feels to be here doing this work and doing these challenges, right? It's like the person that goes to the gym every day, and then suddenly they fall in love with somebody, and they never go to the gym again the rest of their life. So let's see, what is our hexagram today? 54, the marrying maiden. Oh, gosh. That's it. To set out to bring order is a pitfall. No direction is fruitful. Marrying maidens supported the first wife of Chinese noblemen. You are in a supporting role. You are not yet ready to exert influence. Do not set intentions or make plans. Feel your way, adapt, and find your place without originating any action or having any agenda of your own. How can you grow in this situation? What does it mean to you to come second? And how sustainable is this? In other words, don't be subservient to that love. That's a love that's coming in that's saying it's going to take over your life, and it's going to basically control your actions. It's going to be whatever this is. And I'm not saying it's a person, but that energy of you being so attracted to that thing, that idea, right? Or that person, that connection, that desire is going to run your life if you let it. And that's, again, Two of Wands. We got to be strong. We got to be in control, right? We've been talking about it for half an hour now. But the marrying maiden, right? And it's not gender specific, but engages in that relationship, engages in that desire, and now is unable to make decisions, is unable to set intentions, is unable to make plans, okay? Is just sort of obediently following that desire wherever it goes. I think this is very ironic, okay? So it's kind of saying that, look, we can fall in love with these other things, but don't forget what your intentions are here. And maybe that's, that energy in life that's trying to get you to break your promise, break your commitment here, Okay. Marrying maiden. That's pretty uncanny that we'd get that hexagram in this situation. But the mystery card. Oh, I don't know. I want to see more fire. I want to see your Aries power card, the Emperor card. Let's see what we have. Okay, it's a Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is understanding the blood, sweat, and tears that it takes. This is understanding the process of creation on the physical plane. You know what it takes to get this success. You know what it takes to continue working at whatever these goals are. And in this understanding, okay, you have to ask yourself, when this situation comes along, whatever this could be anything, right? When that desire comes along, you got to ask yourself, am I still going to have what it takes to do this? Is this love, this desire helping me? Is this going to be part of what it takes? Is this going to cooperate with me? Or is this going to be a sort of ultimatum? Well, I either follow this or I do this. Okay? And anything that comes into your life and gives you that ultimatum, I think is a very dangerous thing. We want the cooperation. Anything that we choose to unite with in our lives, people, places, things, should be supportive of our goals. And not saying, okay, well, if you want to be with me, you got to quit doing that stuff. You got to quit doing your work. You got to quit being an artist. You got to quit running marathons. You got to quit being you, right? If you want to be with me. What? Excuse me? So be careful with that. Because this is us really understanding, again, the cooperation and how everything in our life has to be geared toward this. I think this is your important work. Be careful of what this thing is. I think with the Three of Pentacles, there's a good indication here that this love will be very supportive of your work. This is a confirmation, I think, of cooperation. And it's all about how you fit that new love into your existing life. Don't let it overwrite your existing life, but fit it in as part of the whole function of this thing. Okay? Then it really is kind of a new reality, right? Then you are accepting that love as a wonderful possibility in life, and you're engaging with it in a way that is going to help you to get to your goals and not give you that ultimatum. Yeah. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that's part of what that Two of Swords is, that course correction that we're doing. Your ability to make those micro adjustments and those small course corrections, this ability is going to help you when this choice comes along too. Okay? Because then it's not like you get this desire and you just say overwhelmingly, yes, of course, and then you're doing a 180. Remember we said we're not doing 180s or 90-degree turns. You do little by little, turn by turn, just minor adjustments. So when that Two of Cups shows up in your life, you're not turning your whole life around and scrapping all of this and doing that 180. You're saying, okay, maybe I'll see how it goes, you know. But we're not doing that. We're not doing that big sort of, again, it's kind of that ultimatum in a way with the Two of Swords. So a lot happening in your life right now. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There is a link down below. New readings for Aries on Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.